Hi and welcome, chart artists. Welcome to a new episode. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching the live, or not the live stream. Thanks for watching the video. If you do hear some noise and crackling in the background, I assure you it's not mic issues on my side. We do have a severe thunderstorm here at the moment. Massive hail, rain coming down, thunder hitting in the background. I do want to get this episode out to you guys, so I decided let's record. At least you can still hear my voice. Cool, let's get into it. First thing I want to tackle is let's go through some news, see where the market sentiment is lying at the moment. Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin here together, and let's talk about ETH. As per the thumbnail, is Ethereum the right place to put your money right now? Is it time to switch some of your Bitcoin bags into Ethereum? Let's analyze that together. Before we dive in, please smash up the like, subscribe to my channel for future notifications, and let's get right into it. First thing on the agenda is let's go through some news. CC15 Capital writes, hodlers are not selling. The hodl wave chart shows that the amount of Bitcoin held for the different periods of time, long-term hodlers have not sold any Bitcoin to ETF. And I guess I would also not sell my current Bitcoin to go and buy ETFs via BlackRock or ARK Investment because they charge fees and I don't want to pay those fees. So at the moment, hodlers still have diamond hands holding onto their Bitcoin, which is a bullish sign, still expecting some upside. And yes, we can have corrections in the short to medium term, but you know, for the long haul, things still looks very bullish for Bitcoin. Next, Justin Bennett writes, if everyone was thinking, or if everyone has the timing of this Bitcoin bull market wrong, what if max pain for crypto is sideways to lower for the next 12 months? People will say it'll never happen because the last time it was COVID, okay, which was a one-time thing. That's true, it was a one-time thing, but markets don't repeat, they rhyme. Okay, basically what he's saying is total market cap has tapped the 618. Could we expect a deeper correction here to the between the 900 and 800 billion mark for continuation to the upside? So basically leaning a bit more bearish is to say that we could have a much deeper correction than people are anticipating. Only time will tell. Okay, so some bearish sentiment. Seth writes, as a bull I want the green, but it wouldn't surprise me if we get the red. Of course, basically where price action is at the moment, we can have still both scenarios playing out, where at the moment it seems that everyone is leaning in the bearish direction. But as always, no one can predict the market, and we could have bullish momentum continue to the upside. Okay, what's up next? TUSD has lost its peg. A stablecoin has lost its peg to the dollar, dropping 1.6%. Okay, according to Due9 YCC. And from my perspective, I like to diversify my stablecoins. So I have some USDC, I have some USDT. I do not have TUSD. So if you do have TUSD, it seems that someone traded your coin without you knowing about it. Okay, always good to diversify your stablecoins and not just put everything into one basket. We all know what happened to Luna. Okay, and I think every time someone sees a stablecoin depeg against the US dollar, that fear and what happened to Luna, you know, starts creeping in, and yeah, it's not a nice thing to experience. Up next, stock money lizards. Okay, writes a long article, but what it basically means is we are over here. And he's still anticipating a correction to the downside to that $33,000, $34,000 level, and then for a healthy continuation, continuing on this upsloping trend line. Okay, where the all-time high for 2024 will be in quarter 4. Still a long time to ride this wave up to the upside, where it looks like they're seeing the peak of the bull market here between, I would say, let's make it $250,000. Okay, so some bullish momentum, but still bearish in the short term. So any pullback doesn't mean that we're going back to all-time lows. It's a healthy correction needed for the market, as we had correction, upwards trend, correction. Is it time now for that healthy correction to the downside, or are we going to continue bullish momentum? Okay, then I hear the buzz and I hear people talk about altcoin season is in motion. Okay, according to Mustang, the Gaussian channel for altcoins has finally changed to green. So as you can see here, during 2016, when the Gaussian channel changed to green, we had altcoin season explode, Bitcoin dominance dropping, and altcoins going on a rampage. Will this time be different? 2020, also when it changed green, you have a massive upslope in trend, and now finally this indicator is turning green. Could we see an altcoin explosion? And also, you know, we just have to keep an eye on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going to go down here with like falling out the window type of thing to the $32,000 or $34,000 mark, will we still see altcoins exploding, or are we going to have a nice sideways momentum from Bitcoin where dominance is dropping, Bitcoin is going sideways or slowly trickling down, where we could still see alts exploding? Okay, that wraps up the news. Let's go and analyze the price of Bitcoin. First thing is, as per my video update yesterday, not much has changed. Yesterday during my update, we were basically in this range, and today we are still in this range. So the scenarios that I've discussed yesterday is still exactly the same, where I'm looking at, I've just adjusted my trend line slightly, where we now have 1, 2, 3 touches over here, and it currently looks like we want to break out. Okay, the minimum requirement for me for a valid trend line is 3 touches. Okay, so currently looks like we want to break out. Will we successfully break out, or will we keep on ranging? Two levels that are, or a level of resistance that I am watching as per my update yesterday as well. If you want to go and refresh yourself on some of the Elliott wave theories that I had here on Bitcoin as well, please go and have a look at yesterday's update, where I go through the bullish and the bearish Elliott wave scenarios. But for now, today, to keep it simple, we have resistance over here. Okay, we have a point of control of the entire range. If I take a fixed range, volume profile, from this entire range that we are in right now, you will see we have a point of control, okay, and then we have a value area high just slightly above, and also a weekly and a range high level. And what I mean by range high is basically when you have a massive drop or a pump to the upside, you just reverse the strategy, is to say that you form a little range high in this case, or if you have bullish momentum, you form a range low. And what tends to happen with this type of trading strategy is, let me just grab my pen, if we do find momentum here to the upside, either we reject an SFP here from the point of control to find continuation to the downside, and perhaps find support above these highs for then a retry, and we'll just have to see. We have to flip this resistance into support for bullish momentum to remain to the upside and to come and fill this gap. Okay, this gap for me is important. One of the trading strategies that I like to explain to our community as well is to say that when you form a range high, which is in confluence with a weekly level and a point of control, what you want to see for the strategy to play out is we move up here, we SFP, we test the highs, we try again, and when you tap this level for the first time, and it can be a nice little wick with acceptance back below the level, you want to see us move away from it and not tapping it for a second time. Okay, for a beautiful short entry to the downside, potentially even coming down as low as the major point of control I have here at $3,882. Okay, probabilities then state, well, that is the short scenario that I'm seeing here. Then from a failed scenario is to say that, well, we're going to find bullish momentum to the upside. The strategy states that if you, let me just undo all of the scribble, if you find momentum up here, perhaps you SFP, you bounce, you try again, you fail again, and when you come and tap this for a second time, probabilities then increases that you are going to find momentum to the upside, potentially even coming to claim this daily level over here and filling this gap. Okay, so just quickly again, in summary, you want to see us basically tap this level once. There can be a big wick and acceptance back below the level. Second time increases probabilities that we are going to come to higher levels and claim all that beautiful liquidity that I've been watching here, all of this beautiful liquidity on top. Okay, cool. That is basically the strategy, which I like to call, I don't know if the strategy has a different name, I like to call it the range high or the range low strategy, depending on whether you have bullish or bearish momentum. So definitely a key area of resistance over here. Okay, potentially turning this into support could also then mean that we are going to come and claim this high at a later stage. Okay, nothing goes up in a straight line, but perhaps we find strength above this resistance for continuation to the upside to come and claim this high. And I mean, it could be reject SFP, come and retest it as support for continuation to the upside. Okay, which will then mean that that bullish scenario will then start playing out, perhaps one more high to wipe out all the early shorters for then a healthy correction to the downside. Who knows? Okay, next up is the strength of ETH, where's my mouse? The strength of ETH over Bitcoin, okay. I have personally switched some of my Bitcoin bags into ETH, not all of it, just a healthy portion, because Ethereum is showing tremendous strength at the moment over BTC, which tells me that even if Bitcoin pumps over here, I'm expecting bigger moves from Ethereum. And if Bitcoin had to correct from here, I'm expecting a lesser of a correction from Ethereum. So definitely something that I'm keeping in mind is that I'm here on the daily time frame. We've broken trend. We found support at these lows, and then when you come and zoom into lower time frames, you can see that I've got a little bull flag that I've drawn over here. And are we going to break to the downside for perhaps a retest and continuation to the upside, or break to the upside? I'll paint out the scenario. So perhaps if we do lose this trend, we can come and find support above these highs, which is also a retest of the trend for continuation to the upside, or we break up with a retest and continuation. Okay, cool. But Ethereum is looking very bullish over Bitcoin at the moment. And if I personally had to, no financial advice, of course, I make these shows for entertainment purposes only. So I can only tell you what I have done. Please do your own research. I have personally switched some of my Bitcoin bags into Ethereum. Okay, it's looking very strong. Technicals are telling me that a better place to have your hodl bag at the moment is in Ethereum. Let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum on a daily time frame. Let's just do a quick little comparison. Looking at Bitcoin, when you take a fib from the top to the bottom, you can see that we are here by the 618, which we've just tapped. Okay, hence we've had this nice little correction to the downside. Also tracking this momentum here to the upside, and I also have connecting this pivot, all these pivots here. You have a downsloping trend line where we finally broke out. We retested it to perfection for continuation to the upside. Okay, then you could also say from a macro perspective, if you take a fib extension from the bottom to the top to the bottom, okay, if this, and from a macro perspective, I'm just keeping this in mind, is to say that if we do have more momentum to the upside, I do expect some sort of rejection at this level, the 1.618, because from an Elliott wave perspective, you want to see a 1, 2, 3, where the 1.618 is generally a common target for a third wave. Then create the fourth wave, bouncing again on the trend line, perhaps to that $36, $32, you know, the healthy correction levels that everyone is anticipating, to then go and complete a fifth wave to the upside. Okay, so for me, for now, if we do not have a healthy correction from here, I do expect us to come and claim the yearly high and reject here around the $51,700 level. Depending on which exchange you're using to trade, that level will be slightly different. Okay, also, okay, let's just reverse here for a second. This is where Bitcoin is at the moment. Okay, when I look at ETH, exact same time frame, and I've tried to make it look very similar, and you would almost say that this is Bitcoin's price. The only difference is ETH is still lagging behind. Look at Bitcoin, where it is. Let me try and put it at the same place. Take the pencil away. Okay, let's see. Yeah, nice comparison over here. Let's do this. Okay, look at Ethereum. We haven't even tapped the 50%, where with Bitcoin, we broke through the 50, we found support, and we now tapped the 618. So definitely still some gas in the tank for Ethereum to catch up. Specifically now with Ethereum showing strength over Bitcoin, is this Ethereum's time to catch up to Bitcoin? Is to say, sorry, there's also the downsloping trend. We've broken out, we found support, a retest for continuation. Now we need to find support above this consolidation, which we are currently doing for more momentum to the upside. Consolidation, more momentum to the upside, and this is exactly where Bitcoin is at the moment. From a percentage perspective, we are still looking at a, let's say, 35% catch-up that Ethereum needs to make. Okay, so definitely something that I'm keeping an eye on. Also, the one thing that I have noticed is let's dive in a little bit deeper into Ethereum. When you look at the price of Ethereum, we are currently inside of this channel. Okay, so for bullish momentum to remain to the upside, you really want to see us, grab my brush, you really want to see us break out of the channel. Okay, just still bullish momentum. I'm just looking at the price of Bitcoin and the technicals from a different perspective. We are inside a channel. There's that trend line that I've just highlighted. And could we come and hit the $3,500 level that everyone is waiting for? ETH is just not getting to that level. Slowly creeping up to the upside. And also when I start switching on some levels over here, let's go through them quickly and just take the brushes out the way, is to say that, well, if this, okay, take my brush, if this is a 1, 2, 3, where Bitcoin is now inside of the third wave, where's the common third wave target? 1.168, which is in perfect alignment with the weekly level and this resistance area from the previous highs over here. Okay, that just looks beautiful to say that, well, perhaps we are going to find momentum here to the upside to finally come and claim, you know, and it might not be a straight line, it could be something like this to finally come and claim this level. 1.618, which is usually considered a minimum target or a common target for a third wave. Also, the other interesting thing I wanted to point out is that a couple of videos ago, I highlighted 2 Elliott wave scenarios on Ethereum. Okay, so let's just take this flip out the way. The first scenario was, I think it was this one over here, is to say that we've reached the peak over here, which we actually now broke through, and we made a higher high, but we've reached the peak and we would have made an A, B, C correction to the downside for then continuation to the upside. But for now, it looks like this scenario is invalidated. Looking at scenario number 2, let's just close that. This is the scenario 2 that I had on the cards, is to say that, well, what if this is a 1, 2, 3, which I've just explained, 4, 5 to the upside. Okay, we've now just completed the first wave inside the third wave, which also has 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so ETH really looking good, really looking juicy. As per the thumbnail, it's not clickbait. This is what I'm seeing. The technicals are telling me, I'm not being biased from an emotional perspective. The technicals are telling me things look great at the moment for ETH. Unless things change, Ethereum loses strength over Bitcoin, it breaks back into trend, then obviously, I will make another update and say, okay, things are not looking great. Ethereum is potentially going to come down to the bottom of the channel for a retest over here and then continuation to the upside. But for now, as technical stands today, things look great for Ethereum, and actually super excited about what Ethereum can do, and also the entire ecosystem built around Ethereum. So, and this is why I've been CRV, just one of the coins. This is a trading scenario that I discussed with my community this morning. Let's take that out the way, is to say that, and I have touched on this yesterday as well, is to say great accumulation zone, accumulation zone for CRV is that I don't want the price, well, I do want the price personally for myself to do this, claiming these highs, and no one told you. Okay, I'm telling you now, I've told you yesterday, I've told you in other updates, I'm telling you again, this is a great accumulation zone, adding to your spot bags. And even if we come back down lower, I would continue adding to my spot bags in preparation for the halving mid-April and the potential bull run to come, to find that continuation and momentum to the upside. Right, and I think that's it for today's update. Keeping it nice and short today. Thanks for watching. Also, last thing is, if you would like to trade with me, please, I've got my affiliate links down in the description. If you haven't opened up a Bybit or a BingX or a Mexi account, please support my channel by signing up. You get a $30,000 bonus by using Bybit, $5,000 in USDT by using BingX. Anyways, please sign up using one of my affiliates. It's your ways to show love towards the channel. Please smash up the like, subscribe for future updates. Until the next one, cheers for now.